Once Human is getting a massive new update. We'll go over all the details with the new patch, how to prepare for it, as well as the maintenance time. There's also some discrepancies with signups. I have some insider details from the community managers that will also help you prep for the Way of Winter. Additionally, we'll also cover some stuff from the community. We got a ton to talk about. What's up, world? It's Utopia back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things Once Human. Okay, so first up, we are getting the Way of Winter scenario, which is going live on October 17th. We have a bunch of new details here around the 1.3 update, including the new map areas, which first up here they do show a few of those, like the Frost Forge, the Fort Obsidian, the Firethroat Sanctum, Ember Strand, Tega Containment Center, Ashenton, and Wishland, which is a pretty massive sneak peek for the new areas as well as the new map locations. They also outline here going over the new survival mechanics, the new enemies, weapon blueprints, and new deviations. Those two main new survival mechanics here, the hypothermia and heat stroke. Again, both of those can either immobilize you or down you if you cannot essentially get your character under control with the weather conditions. Now there are multiple ways to deal with this, including a campfire or furnace, where heat stroke will be essentially cooling yourself down. That also includes here the thermal towers. That's going to be giving an area specific control over the weather, as well as some buffs that will help with that. As they say here, you can divide, collaborate, and build those while you work together to set up the thermal towers and buff your campsite. There's a ton of management stuff here with the thermal towers in general. Still a really cool PvE mechanic that's going to help people collaborate instead of fighting against each other with the PvP scenario, and helping with those chaotic temperatures till it begins. We also do have those 7 brand new deviations. First up here, Tar Pudding. That is going to gather fuel around the territory and increase the fuel refining speed when assigned to a refining facility. Zapcam attaches to your back when you are in OST or scoped mode, and it will lock onto part of the enemy and deal damage. Hydronaut Fish, when activated, it gathers seawater from the outside of your territory, as well as occasionally yielding fish, and it will increase production speed when assigned to a water filter or a brewing barrel. Invisible Sun deals blaze damage to a designated target, and it's an AoE effect. Snow Sprite will continuously generate ice crystals near the target, and when the ice crystal shatters are shot, they will deal frost damage to nearby targets, and also increase the frost damage done to them. So very good for Frost Vortex builds. Ice Pot will produce ice blocks with magical adhesiveness, and Gasachio, or the Night Lamp, that will patrol your territory and attack suspicious targets. It beams light to paralyze them as well, so kind of akin to the Nutcracker. We also have those brand new weapons. They do only showcase 3 here in the imagery, but we do have 5 total. The first up here being an M416 called Scorched Earth, with also another M416 called the Autumn Equinox, an ACS-12 called Pyroclasm Starter, that one is actually showcased, and another M416 called Silent Anabasis. Again, that is one showcased here in the imagery. Last up here, an MG4 Conflicting Memories, which does look like it's going to be an electric version of the LMG. So a ton of new deviations there. They're going to help a lot with either combat or bases. Also with the 1.3 update, we're getting some changes to Rift Space, Astral Void, and as well as the Securement Silos, which gives us a brand new boss called Secret Servitor, as well as some changes to Trent, a brand new Astral Void called Black Sector. For Securement Silo, it looks like we're getting changes to both EX1 as well as PSI, and 2 brand new Securement Silos called Delta and Taurus. So a bunch of new endgame content as well as gameplay loops being introduced with the Way of Winter. Speaking of that, we have to talk about the brand new phases, which are obviously going to play into the endgame content. So for Phase 1, that is going to last 7 days. The features of that are the public crisis events Hale's Moving House, the Cargo Conquest, which is that PvP event, as well as Securement Silos are available. Vina Fjord and Onyx Tundra are accessible. Those are going to be the 2 areas on the map that you can get to. For Phase 2, that's going to be a total of 8 days. The Ember Strand is accessible, and all sub-regions of the Snowy Realm are now accessible. There's going to be a new prize pool featured in the Wish Machine, that is the Destructive Flames and Blazing Fire. Dungeons in hard mode are now also available, and the Season Progress task Eliminate the Chaos Weaver is also available. For Phase 3, that is being labeled the Glimmer of Hope. That is going to be 10 days in total, where dungeons are now available in Pro mode, but that is it for Phase 3. We're not getting any new map locations, as the entire map is now unlocked. Phase 4 is going to last 10 days, and that is being called the End of Ice and Fire. We're getting a brand new event called Frost and Flame, which will affect temperatures over a large range. There's a brand new prize pool in the Wish Machine, Tranquil Frost, as well as Frost Domain, and now the seasonal task Upgrade and Defend Wonder Thermal Tower is now available. For Phase 5, players can now sign up for a new season. So that is the end at Phase 5, which will be 28 days. It doesn't say that here, but as we can see from the top here, the seasonal phases are lasting 7, 8, 10, 10, and 28 respectively. So that Phase 5 will be 28 days in total. And of course, as they say here, the first 4 phases are going to be the main gameplay phases. During the last phase, you can then sign up for a new scenario and wait until it begins. Also, some pretty cool new stuff with the update. They are adding 45 new songs to the radio. I know for me, they have been getting quite repetitive lately. And they're adding a new hometown FM radio station. They also did a bunch of optimizations with deviations and deviants, as well as a ton of bug fixes. Some more notable ones here are like this one, where players can now hold the reload button to quickly switch ammo types. They also added a bunch of new weapon accessories, new muzzles, and optics. Now, of course, we need certain ways to prepare for the Way of Winter. A big placeholder on that is essentially make sure that you buy out the crates from your season shop. There's a ton of Starcom you can miss in there. There's a lot less than the previous seasons. However, this time around, you can buy up to 50k worth. More than likely, it is because we weren't able to achieve a lot more with that, and there was less player trading in the PvP scenarios. Obviously, because the player base was split into 2 there, where you couldn't trade with the other faction. Now, if this is your first time on a PvP scenario, you should try to farm out all the PvP deviations that you can. The first one here being a very popular one called Mr. Wish. He can be gotten from Silo Sigma, Dr. Teddy, which can also be gotten from a Silo, which is Theta, the Pump Buddy deviation. It can be used to craft a featherweight buff, and you get that by attacking floating zombies near the Blackfell oil fields. However, in my opinion, the most sought after one is the Masonic Pyramid. However, unfortunately, this one cannot be gotten and is one of the more rare ones that I've seen. You were only able to get this from Warband Wars, which hasn't been a thing in any of the new PvP scenarios. So if you're on one of the older PvP scenarios, this one is a definite want. That deviation specifically can craft 2 buff potions. The first one here is an invisibility potion, which is very sought after. In fact, I sold a lot of these on the even PvE scenario that I played on, where when you crouch, you do become invisible, as well as another one where you get a notification when you're being aimed at. Still, both of those potions are very potent and can be used for a lot, especially the invisibility. You'll see a lot of my footage where I am invisible in the PvP scenario. It plays very well because every time you crouch, as long as you aren't seen by an enemy, you do become invisible basically indefinitely. Until you begin shooting or deactivate something, you will essentially be invisible. So unfortunately, if you are in one of the new PvP scenarios, you cannot get this deviation, and it is super rare from my understanding. We also have 2 additional things to go over with the new update, which is the server maintenance time. Now listed here, they say this is starting on October 17th at 12 noon, but that's UTC plus 8. So if you are from NA like me, it's actually starting on October 16th, depending on your time zone. So if you're Central Time, that will be at 11 p.m. CST. For EST, it's technically October 17th at 12 a.m. EST. And then for PST, that is 9 p.m. Now, I do actually have an update from the community manager over on the creator Discord, where he did give us some insider information to pass along to you guys. He said that should be ending around 4 a.m. CST on October 17th. However, this is when response essentially you're not able to currently sign up for a new scenario. Now, someone asked, is there a specific reason for this or why we're not able to sign up for the new scenario before the maintenance time? However, for right now, there is a reason, but they don't know exactly why. They will get an answer, but by that time, you'll be able to sign up for the new scenario. That's when they do wake up, because over in the Asian regions, essentially, they are sleeping at the moment, and it is quite late there, so we won't have an answer until tomorrow on NA time. So if you're curious why you're not able to essentially sign up for the new scenario, it's because nobody can at this current moment. But after the maintenance period ends, you will be able to sign up for a new server. And with that new scenario, we actually do have some brand new Twitch drops. The specific start time for that is at 3 a.m. CST. However, the maintenance is ending around 4 a.m. CST. So I'm not sure if there's some disparity there or if we're actually going to see the Twitch drops start before the scenario start time, or at least before the maintenance ends. But that is what the community manager has listed here, or that will last until November 14th at 3 a.m. CST. Really cool here, the community manager, or this one specifically, actually worked on the Twitch drops himself, and this was from creator feedback in the community, which this has gotten some really good reception so far for these Twitch drops. People are really liking these. These masks variants are really cool, as well as the charm. They're definitely worth getting this time around. And with the new Twitch drops, we're also getting an October 17th story store update. So first up here, they're going to be dropping the romantic misty purple street home decor. There's also 2 brand new sets available, the Steel Claw Raid set, which do give off the cosplay vibe. They also have the Swift Shadow helmet, the Mutated Gaze Cradle cosmetic, some brand new weapon skins here called Wild Rush, and they even have a Lethal Rabbit weapon charm. So a lot of new cosmetics coming to the game, both free and paid. Now that should about cover it for today's video. If you like and subscribe, and until the next one, deuces.